Greetings, beautiful beings, and welcome to the Breathing Bar. I am Ahuvia, and I'm your bartender today and every day. And I'm so glad that you took this moment to kind of absorb and to breathe in the rhythms and the frequencies of the Breathing Bar. And right now we're going into the summer solstice flow, and we've been talking about growing organic inside and out. We're on week 3, and the whole summer solstice series is going to be around growing organic inside and out. The more I delve into sustainable agriculture, off-the-grid living, and just having a balanced consciousness of the natural world, I realized how unorganic we are inside. We have more pesticides and insecticides in our minds than many of the seeds that we talk about being GMO'd or Terminator seeds. And I realized that in order to really create the collective consciousness of sustainability and caring what happens to the natural world and the living organisms that we need to survive, each of us has to develop our own organic nature, our bioetheric nature. And each of us are different. So it's going to look different on each of us. So this summer solstice season, we're going step by step into this concept of growing organic inside and out. And the first 2 podcasts dealt with, do I really care and how do I care? Just really going within ourselves and seeing, how do you care? And when you really think about it, do you really care when it comes to your relationship, not just with yourself, but with the collective whole? And that means living organisms outside of humanity. And so today we're just going to take a moment and focus on the present moment. Because as you continue to evolve with everything going on in the world, all this new wisdom, or all this wisdom, it's not new, nothing new under the sun, but all this information that's coming to your hearing or being revealed to you or coming up within your own energetic vortex, it's important to meet it in the moment. Because there's so much going on, it's hard and it's not even sustainable to think that you can get a level of consciousness or understanding in a moment and say, oh, let me hold on to that for the next 4 days, and then I'll deal with it 4 days later. Energy doesn't really work that way. So each moment, there's new levels of understanding coming. So you have to deal with each moment in its moment. And then allow it to fuse, let it go. And then the next moment, something else can be added. And then something else can be added. If you're just holding on and not processing whatever is happening in that present moment, then eventually all this stuff just builds up. And then you just get overwhelmed, flustered. And I know from experience. And then you're just like, okay, I'm just going to drop everything and just stop. But I have learned that no, I have to deal with each moment as it comes. So even if you realize something or you get a revelation, in that moment, embrace it. Let that be all that you focus on. But allow it to have a conclusion at the end of that moment. And the conclusion can be, okay, I see you, I get it, but I know there's more to it. So I'm going to have to kind of release you into the universe and say, hey, universe, bring back the next level of understanding relative to whatever that information is that you're bringing to me. But at least you've dealt with it. You're not holding on to it or saying, I don't have time, or many times not even registering it because you're not in the moment. You're in the future, or you're thinking about the past. And that now moment just gets lost in all of that. So that's what we're talking about, is in growing organic inside and out. There has to be an understanding of your etheric nature. There has to be the ability through stillness and the breath to come into your pure consciousness in that moment, in the now, in your perfect alignment with universal consciousness. And it's a continual discipline, practice. I know because I screw up 24/7 with it. But the blessing is, in all of my screw ups, I'm highly aware. And so I'm in that moment of awareness in my screw ups, if that makes sense. So I say that just to say, I don't beat myself up. It freaking is what it is. I'm like, if I knew I had to sign up for all this, it'd be like, for real? Because we're not conditioned in the culture to be disciplined for our mental and emotional balance. We were conditioned to be disciplined to fulfill whatever we were indoctrinated to believe was important. So I had to go a whole nother road less traveled to get to this space of being able to control my mind and using the breath and stillness and all these other energetic modalities that I have picked up along the way. But the biggest thing that I have is a drive and a passion to ascend and to conclude my earth realm experiences. So how do you focus on the present moment? What tools do you use to stay in the now? And to be able to deal with whatever's happening in that moment. If it's a argument with someone, if it's a disagreement, if it's a intense situation, a beautiful exchange, how do you bring it full circle so that it is completed? So that you can go into the next moment, continuing to build the healthy consciousness around whatever's happening in a balanced way. Because the more you hold on and say, I can't deal with it right now, I can't deal with it right now, that creates what I call energy balls. And that energy will connect to another energy of something else you sat there and can't deal with. And ultimately, these become our triggers. These become our triggers that we're like, where did that come from? It was just a bunch of crap not dealt with. And that's all triggers are many times. And that's all trauma is, experiences not dealt with on an energetic level. And when you do it in the energy level, you start to release the emotional attachment and realize I built up a lot of energy around whatever this is. So that's kind of where we are at the breathing bar, like I said earlier. And always remember, there is an interactive journal available. Just go on the website. It's a free download. And it's a complement to the podcast. It gives you an expansion experience, something to think about and engage in, to continue to activate the frequency and the energy of the seed that we're planting or nurturing. So, like I said, it's always available. If you listen to one of the older episodes, because I don't keep all the journals up, like last year's journals are available, you can just DM me or send me a message and I can give you access to the journals from the podcast. Each season I do a series. So that's where we are, beautiful beings. I just wanted to kind of continue growing organic inside and out and focusing on the present moment. And this week, just kind of engage yourself. What would the world be like if we each could stay in the moment and be totally 100% in that moment? Not in the future and not in the past. What would that allow in us to activate, to wake up? It's something to think about. So I will see you next week. Thank you for coming to the Breathing Bar. We're so happy that you stopped by to see us. And we will talk soon, beautiful beings. Give thanks.